See, I love your summation of religion. It's amazing.
And it's funny because when people tell me like Buddhist things or they make fun of my religion, I laugh with them and they can't understand why I'm making fun of my own religion. But I'm like, have you seen Buddha? Do you know? Yeah.
He's a fat guy.
Yeah, I mean seriously, he wasn't really fat, but we kind of persona him that way. And the fatter he gets, the more wealthier in China he becomes. So, but in particular, the thing that killed me with Noah's Ark is when somebody said. Noah, he was asking in this debate. It was on 4chan, of course. But somebody says, okay, on a serious question here, which doesn't really go over well. Yeah, but he goes on a serious question here, and he recites exactly what the Bible says about Noah's Ark. And he asks, did Noah only take 2 of every animal? To which, of course, you get tons of people that say, yes, duh, obviously, is this a joke or this kind of thing? Obviously. And then, at the very end of some 250-some replies, the original poster comes back and says, so, what did the lions eat? Because when you think about it, you kind of have to have more than 2 of every animal in order to keep those original 2 alive. What are you going to do about the carnivores? I really don't think they, stocked 100 zebra on that boat so 2 lions could live. I really don't.
The historical facts about, at least the supposed historical facts. I'm going to say supposed because obviously nobody's been there, but from the evidence that we have from the area and stuff, that from what I've heard anyway, in documentaries and things, they've actually pinpointed that it was that Noah's Ark existed. It was,
which I can believe.
There was an area, but it wasn't the Ark that everyone thinks it is. It was this big giant freaking ship. No, it's a game of telephone that got corrupted. Basically, you start with a story, and people tell the story, and it gets bigger and bigger, and more amazing, and more amazing, and more amazing.
And then, it turns out to be Donald Duck and Daisy taking care of the ship.
it was a king in a local area. There was a massive flood between these 2 rivers. Now, in this time period, in this area, as far as the eye could see would be water when this flood hit, because that's how massive this flood is. They can tell from actually the way the sediment settled when they went down and started actually excavating this area. Now, basically, there was a boat. Back in this time period, they did merchant rafts where they had a huge raft and merchants would put a bunch of cargo on it and they'd sail it up and down the rivers and they would sell things from it. Basically, this king commandeers one of these things with his family, gets aboard it, and they survive on this raft. And mind you, this raft's full of cargo. Of course they're going to survive on it. There's food on there. They survive on it until the floodwaters recede, which, God knows, it could have been 40 days, 40 nights. It may have been less time. It may have been more time. But yeah, they survive on it until the floodwaters recede. And hurrah, hooray, they made it,
And I mean, when you think about it, 40 days and 40 nights, what'd they do? You guys survived for a month.
So basically, this story, gets passed down through several centuries and becomes massive ship, lots of animals, lots of things happening.
Pretty much someone decided to take, Tilly the tugboat and say, oh, this was Titanic.
We're totally off subject here.
I know.
Let's get back onto the movies. Labyrinth.
Titanic was another movie.
Let's go from the Bible to Labyrinth.
Yes, Labyrinth. Labyrinth was a definite thing. Labyrinth was kind of my introduction to saying, hey, live action can have musicals in it. Nice!
Labyrinth for me,
bubble.
When I was a kid, I asked my dad to erase the tape. I was that terrified of David Bowie.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? I didn't see Labyrinth until I was 6.
I had a real problem with certain movies. E.T. bothered me really badly, so did Labyrinth.
I saw E.T., can't remember shit.
There was a couple of... Star Wars really bothered me as a kid, too.
Star Wars was my obsession. Me and my dad died.
These things bother me so badly. Aliens, in particular, had a big thing with bothering me and stuff like that, but...
I always wanted to go to another goddamn planet after I watched Star Wars. I was like, yes!
But Labyrinth, the setting, the way the place... When I hit my teenage years, I watched Labyrinth again. I fell in love with it. Oh my God, the music, the things that happened with the characters. It was amazing.
When I saw Labyrinth, I fell in love with corn mazes.
Oh yeah.
And I decided I was going to make the largest damn corn maze on the planet, and I never did.
The mazes, the characters, the way the characters are designed, the whole thing with the MC Escher inspired stairs. Oh, there's so much in that movie that's really gorgeous. And of course Jim Henson, being involved. Anything with Jim Henson is amazing.
Yeah, she's a Muppets freak. I mean, if you gave her Kermit, she'd probably screw him.
No. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I think you would.
That is one of my childhood things. It's not a.
Until I get you on 4chan.
I do not put on the slash goggles for Muppets. I take my slash goggles off when
Yeah, there are some things. Muppets. There are some things where the slash goggles. We try to put in as many chunks as possible and hide them away because there's just certain things you shouldn't be putting slash goggles on.
Kermit fills me with childlike glee. It's not all things. Kermit and the Swedish Chef and Fozzie the Bear.
Gonzo!
And the old guys and Gonzo, and you gotta understand, guys, when I, to this day, when I see the little icon on DeviantArt that has Kermit going, waving his arms, I am just like, Kermit!
See, Muppets wasn't the thing for me. What was for me from Jim Henson was Fraggle Rock.
I never saw Fraggle Rock growing up.
And I let you watch an episode and you were like, what the hell is this? Because it's like Muppet musical all over again. I remember seeing Muppets Treasure Island.
Oh my god!
You said you never saw it.
I've seen Muppet Treasure Island.
You told me you never saw it.
No, I've never seen one of their other movies.
That was it.
No, I've seen Muppet Treasure Island. I've seen the Muppets Go to Hollywood, I think it is, and the Muppets. One of the
Muppet Treasure Island is the one where it says "Yo ho, yo ho, timbers." Yeah, you told me when we played the villains list. You told me you never saw the entire movie.
No, that was Nathan. Nathan was here. Remember?
No, you said that was you.
No,
and I remember flipping you off because I was like, how can you be a Muppet fan and you've never seen this? I don't think I
remember the song, but I know I've seen the movie all the way through. I've seen that movie because I love that movie. You fucking kidding me, woman? Don't glare at me like that.
Anyway, my Jim Henson.
Why would I lie about seeing a Muppets movie?
My Jim Henson, experience kind of resorted down to watching, Sesame Street, Fraggle Rock.
Sesame Street, top of my ABCs. I shit you not.
Fraggle Rock and Eureka's Castle.
Eureka's Castle, yes.
I loved Batty so much. He was so derp, and I loved him to death. But yeah, I mean, and the Count. 1, 2, 3.
No. Big Bird was my thing. When I was a kid, there was actually an incident with Big Bird that I will always stick out in my mind.
My dad dressed up as Big Bird and terrified me as a kid.
I had a severe asthma. I'm an asthmatic, and I had a severe asthma attack as a kid. To the point where when I had to go to the hospital, they took me in, they put an IV in me and everything. I sat there on the table. I remember throwing up. I do not remember anything past that point. I blacked out. And when I say I blacked out, I woke up the next morning. Apparently they had to resuscitate me. My mom said, years later I find out from my mom that I almost died. I was apparently throwing up just foam because I could not breathe. And I had to spend a week in the hospital recovering from this incident. And during that time period...
All over Big Bird?
No, Big Bird came in because I'm laying in bed, I'm feeling so homesick. And mind you, my mom is a nurse at the hospital, so she stops in and checks on me on her shifts and stuff. But I remember one night I'm sitting there, and they had the TV on, and I'm watching, it's whatever, I think it's Catch That Bird or Runaway Bird, or whichever one has Big Bird in it, where
I just realized one of these we cannot tell them about.
Why? We can still talk about it, but
no, because then they'll know exactly what we're going for here.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, I'm watching it, and it's a scene where Big Bird gets really like it's really homesick, and I just start bawling. I break down and I cry my little eyes out. My mom curls up on the bed with me, and I'm like, I just want you.
This woman was so terrified by things. I just look at her and I'm like, really? You got terrified? You got scared of this and that? Labyrinth apparently terrified her. I just looked at it.
Still work. We can still tell them that. Just don't give them any.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. It wouldn't work.
Totally work.
No, it wouldn't, because trust me, it would give it away.
You think it'll give it away?
It really would.
It'll only give it away if you lampshade what movie you're talking about. We don't have to talk about what relation it has to the story
because once they know the title, they're gonna know.
There's so many titles in this page. If you don't lampshade it and just stick it in there somewhere, they're not gonna know what we're talking about.
I deleted it.
I know what it is, though.
I know, but we're not going to say it. No.
Oh, my God.
No, we're not, because I don't want to give that away. But,
give it away.
This woman is so freaked out by the stupidest shit.
I was a very sheltered little child.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, you were. And I'm sitting here thinking there's something wrong with me. And then I just have no emotional, construction here at all. Because I'll be watching all these movies and I'll get no emotion. I haven't cried at all. I think the very first movie I cried over was Peach Dragon. That was it.
Well, I cried the other night over a movie we were watching. What was it?
We were crying over the Kinder Transport.
That's right. It was the Kinder.
It was a documentary over that, and the kids were being read those letters from their parents when they were shipped out of Germany, so they wouldn't be part of the Holocaust at first.
And I bawled.
And oh my God, these letters, and it doesn't help that they got the German accents going. And, they're kids
really
to begin with.
Yeah, you really feel
we just started bawling. We'll bawl over documentaries, but fuck, any actual depressing movie.
I cried at Titanic, but only on the scene where the people down the below decks didn't get out. I really honestly didn't give a shit about the main characters, but the scene where the people in the below decks were trapped, that bothered me. The scene in Pearl Harbor where the guys are trapped below decks, that bothered me too. I don't like the idea of something flooding.
Hell, I don't even remember that.
Because you just
Titanic
get coming up to the hole.
Titanic, I was just like, guys, you're on a ship. There's more than one exit. There has to be. On the biggest goddamn ship on the planet, there's more than one exit. Move along. Of course, I was still gripping the goddamn theater seat like, oh my God!
Wonka. This is your...
Wonka. Both versions of Wonka. Pure Imagination. Pure Imagination was kind of the thing... Oh my God, our cat's in heat.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Pure Imagination was kind of that song that, kind of started me on the whole idea. I always wanted a goddamn chocolate room after I saw Willy Wonka, but the Burton version I love the most because it incorporated the songs from the original book and the story. But Pure Imagination was kind of, it's one of those songs. You guys ever have, I know you guys have at least one song where it gives you such an awesome idea and you think you can run with it and make a business and do all this stuff with it. We have those type of songs. RagNBone has one of those songs. And Pure Imagination was kind of one of those things where me and my friends at the time, we really wanted to build... at that point in time, we realized that the animation companies were kind of going down under, and we weren't... That was when all the safe kid movies were coming out. And we wanted to start an animation company where it would show the realism of the world, but at the same time it would have that kind of supernatural feel to it, like Watership Down and Plague Dogs and Feliday. So we always wanted this, but we never got it started. But Pure Imagination was kind of one of those songs. Every time you turn it on, you can only turn it on in certain areas if you really want that mood. But other than that, Kitty, I'm gonna eat your head.
I loved Gene Wilder in that movie so much.
Oh yeah, and most terrifying scene ever, boat ride.
The boat ride, yeah, it's the most fucked up.
When I saw it in Tim Burton's version, I'm like, I'd get on this. Whereas Gene Wilder version is like, God, stop being a creeper.
Stop being a creeper, please, Wonka, stop.
I loved the golden egg, and I remember it didn't hit me until the actual Wonka remake with Tim Burton's.
Everlasting gobstoppers. I always was like, wow, those are so blocky looking. Why are you eating them? Like toys.
No, I always wanted the fucking lickable wallpaper.
Yes.
I remember I used to go around the house and start licking the walls.
I'm so glad I wasn't the only weirdo that did this.
Because my mom would have the freaking the country eggs with the roosters and the cows, and I was like, it tastes like milk.
Okay.
But no.
Really? You're still
No. It didn't hit me until the second movie, Tim Burton's version.
Yeah.
When I started going through fanfiction.net, it never occurred to me Wonka could be arrested on so many levels for the shit he did to these kids.
Well, no shit, Sherlock. I mean, look at the shit that he does.
I know, and I was sitting here, I'm like, you probably just caused psychological turmoil to all of these kids.
Not to mention all the physical damage.
And then after I was reading all these fics, because a lot of people were going to the legal matters of it, that was kind of how they were continuing the movie, and I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, oh well, they deserved it, and I just went about my business.
Willow is the next one on my list.
Willow, I remember seeing, but I don't remember a lot of it.
Willow, made me love...
Willow was kind of my introduction to little people, and then I didn't feel so, awkward about being itty-bitty.